I'm grateful to have a moment to send some warm greetings today from doTERRA headquarters in Pleasant Grove, Utah. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your continued efforts to bring hope and healing to others in Europe and across the world. So Missy and Juergen will now take a few minutes to highlight just a few examples of how wellness advocates like you are working with doTERRA Healing Hands to empower positive, sustainable change.
This mission of ethical and sustainable sourcing is coupled with incredible social impact projects through doTERRA Healing Hands in our sourcing regions. Amazingly, we do not stop there. Throughout the world, doTERRA Healing Hands empowers people worldwide to make positive, sustainable change. This mission is achievable because doTERRA naturally attracts the best people in the world who are already the change makers, and offers connected platforms to truly make change in our communities and across the globe. I continually grow more and more in awe when I meet with wellness advocates like you and see different examples of this pure love of humanity. We, as a collective whole, are an astounding force in all that is good.
It is remarkable to think that $45 million that has supported those in need over the past decade through the doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation is just the tip of the iceberg. Millions more have been donated through doTERRA Healing Hands initiatives in Europe and throughout the world. And that does not even begin to tell the full story of what has been accomplished through wellness advocates directly. In Europe, over the past 2 years alone, we added to that impact $450,000 in support of projects in various countries across Europe, focused on improving the human condition from disaster relief to medical and food aid, mothers and children, education and trafficking prevention. The work that has been done in the past 5 years in Europe is quite remarkable and has supported 7 areas of impact. We will talk about some of the projects in a minute, but before we do, we are excited to invite you to join us in the fight against human trafficking through doTERRA's comprehensive HOPE model.
With your help over the past 5 years, the doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation has donated over $8.5 million to several organizations in 15 countries that work to eradicate modern slavery. Add to this the doTERRA Healing Hands initiatives in markets like yours, and our impact is beyond remarkable. And we're just getting started. We have spent the past 2 years wiping away models that don't work, meeting with collaborative public and private partners who truly move the needle, collectively applying expertise, and trusting the process of evolution as it leads to real solutions. Most importantly, we have been working with and listening to survivors and professionals, and through their expertise, we continue to improve. All of this together led us to launch the comprehensive model to fight human trafficking and child victimization, and that is called HOPE.
Now, approximately 40.3 million people are enslaved worldwide, and that includes labor and sex trafficking. Now, you can make a difference with doTERRA in simple ways. Did you know that 100% of your purchase price of doTERRA HOPE Touch goes directly towards the fight against human trafficking? In addition to purchasing HOPE, you are invited to join the fight to protect the vulnerable and restore the impacted. You can find out more at doTERRAHealingHands.org/hope. You might be interested to know that in July, doTERRA Healing Hands partnered with Her Royal Highness Princess Eugenie to raise awareness on human trafficking and launch the HOPE Month ahead of the World Day Against Trafficking Persons on July 30th of 2021. doTERRA Healing Hands has made a donation of £10,000 to the anti-slavery collective founded by the princess.
Human trafficking has increased dramatically in Albania in the last 30 years, where women and adolescents in poverty are particularly vulnerable. Thanks to your Hope purchases, doTERRA supports a youth program in one of Albania's poorest and most isolated regions to enable them to gain knowledge and skills that will help them transition to adulthood, making them less vulnerable to human trafficking. doTERRA is also working with a local partner to train social assistants in the region to increase their capacity to rescue, to provide trauma support, and to prevent human trafficking. Now, Hope is just one of the incredible ways doTERRA Healing Hands is making a difference in Europe. Thank you for purchasing Hope Touch. Earlier, Juergen mentioned that we would get back to some of the other projects that we have been involved in nearby countries supported by your purchase of rose lotion. Now, don't forget that 100% of the full sales price of rose lotion goes back to those in need.
Yes, and this year has already been very busy. Thank you for helping doTERRA Europe empower those in need. As you remember, record rainfalls caused severe flooding in parts of Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and deadly flash floods claimed many lives, displaced thousands of families, and left many without access to drinking water, electricity, and gas. The funds collected through the purchase of rose hand lotion allowed us to help immediately and donate 60,000 euros to non-profits on the ground in those affected areas. In addition to that, Helping Touch, a non-profit organization founded and managed by European wellness advocate leaders from across multiple downlines, recently collected 18,000 euro in a fundraiser to help the flood victims. And they did this in less than 2 weeks. And doTERRA Europe is matching that to bring it to a total of 36,000 euros. This is such an amazing example of our leaders working together to help people in need. doTERRA Europe also donated and distributed over 100 care packages to wellness advocates and wholesale customers who were directly impacted by the disaster. And we just recently expanded this outreach program to those affected by the volcano eruption on the island of La Palma. Early this year, doTERRA announced its new co-impact sourcing project in Moldova. This project aims to harness the country's perfect conditions to grow aromatic plants while creating positive economic and social impact in the region. During Stronger Together Europe Connection, doTERRA asked its audience to donate with the goal of raising 10,000 euros to pay for a clean water project for a childcare center in a remote area of Moldova. The response was overwhelming and resulted in donations of over 22,000 euros. Now, however, as we were planning to actually start the project, the government had stepped in and installed the new water purification system. Now, this was unexpected, but it ended up being a great news for the local community of Nikolevka. doTERRA is now investing the raised money in 2 new projects. One is the new football field for the Children's Center, and the other one is installation of street lighting in the neighborhood where during the winter months children walk home from school in the dark.
Thank you, Juergen. There are so many incredible projects going on in Europe. Now let's look at some global projects that you've been involved in. In May of this year, doTERRA opened the Sanag Specialty Hospital, located in Aragabo, the heart of Somaliland's frankincense resin harvesting region. Prior to its opening, many did not have any healthcare access because they could not travel over 12 hours to reach medical help. This full-service hospital includes pediatric care, pharmacy service, and community outreach services, among other medical care. This first-class facility allows us to face the region's high infant and child mortality rate. It is overwhelming to think that within the first 2 months, the hospital treated 2,478 outpatients, completed 403 x-rays and 107 ultrasounds, and performed 25 critical surgeries.
We invite you to join doTERRA Healing Hands throughout the year. Please contact our team at europehealinghandsupport@doterra.com or visit doterrahealinghands.org and go to the What's Happening section.
Thank you for your wonderful hearts and hands. The hope for a brighter tomorrow is one of the greatest gifts we can give.